It's really quiet on the lake today, so I thought I'd come out and just have a little paddle. Really, actually just have a little drift around and talk a bit more about anxiety. I haven't even bothered to have a shave because, you know, it's really disturbing that we are so gullible as to believe all of the anxiety messages that we have put out to us all of the time. News is not news, of course. News is bad news. The concerns people have. There's even a thing in America called General Trump anxiety, which is anxiety about President Trump. So lots of things can contribute to our sense of being unsafe in the world. But you know, recently I went around the Western Front, the northern end in Belgium and France, the First World War Western Front, and it does make you realise that actually we're not anywhere near the First World War. Things are a lot better now than they've ever been, in a sense. And you know, we have it within us to have a reasonably anxiety-free lifestyle if we put some effort into it. And that's the thing. So I'd like to offer you 3 thoughts, if you like, to help you to combat anxiety. The first one is, I have to say this, I say this a lot to people, and you know, I guess sometimes it makes sense and sometimes it doesn't. The first thing you have to do is you have to want, or you have to not want to be anxious. So in a sense, you have to put yourself in relationship to the problem, okay? We always have to put ourselves in relationship to the problem, because anxiety creeps up on you. You're just kind of like talking about being anxious. You're expressing the anxiety, you're expressing the worry. And when you do that, you're not really recognizing that you're reinforcing, you're rehearsing, and you're recreating the problem fresh every day, right? So all psychological problems are recreated fresh every day, and we have to recognize that that's one of the things that we always do. Yeah? So the first thing you've got to do is you've got to genuinely not want to be anxious. And when I say genuinely not want to be anxious, you've got to like set your face against it. You've got to make it like, yes, I am going to work on not being anxious. It's going to be the thing that I do. I'm going to crack this code of anxiety. I'm going to understand why things are making me anxious, and I'm not going to let them control me. Okay, so the first thing is you set your face against anxiety. The second thing is this. Where do you think anxiety is created? Well, you might think that anxiety is created in, you know, the experiences that you kind of read about or the things that people say. Anxiety actually is created in here. Anxiety is created in your mind. It's not created in anything else. So the things that perhaps President Trump does, or the things that North Korea do, or the things that other people do, these are not inherently anxiety provoking. Well, let's say, right, they're anxiety provoking, but they don't make you anxious. You have to do something with them. You've got to add that extra secret ingredient, to make you anxious. I'm out here in a canoe, and it's not the canoe I normally use, and it's a bit wobbly, this one, but I thought it's so lovely on this lake. Look at this. It's absolutely flat, calm. A few people are out and about doing bits and pieces, just getting moving in the morning, but it's really, you know, kind of a perfect setting, really. It's overcast, so it's not very sunny, which is kind of good for filming. Okay, so things happen. Now, in trauma therapy, we say it's not what happens to you, it's what you do with it, right? So it's not what people do in the external world, because politicians are always going to do stuff. People are always going to do stuff. That, you know, you're not going to change that. I mean, 1,000 years ago, you'd say, oh, the Normans are always going to do stuff. Well, you know, they conquered England, so you know, they're always going to do stuff. It's what you do with it that turns it into something that makes you anxious, right? And that's the bit that you've got to get control over. It's not what happens, it's what you do with it. And so if you think about this, oh look, there's a boat going by. If you think about this, anxiety is always future oriented, right? It's always about what's going to happen. Yeah, but what if it happens? What if that goes wrong? What if I can't do it? What if it doesn't add up? It's always about the future. And a really profound secret of dealing with anxiety, and it doesn't cost you a penny, is this. In this moment, you're fine. So in this moment, however many concerns I might have, in this moment I'm sitting on this flat, calm lake, on this flat, calm, windless day in Canada, and I have nothing to be concerned about other than capsizing my canoe. But even then I'm not too concerned because I'm wearing a life jacket. So I've got nothing to be concerned about. I have nothing to be anxious about, right? In this moment, I have nothing to be anxious about. Anxiety is about what will happen in the future. Yeah, but what if? But what if? But what if? Yeah, well, what if tends not to happen, okay? And that's the part we have to take control of. We've got to take control over the what ifing ourselves. Of, yeah, but if it doesn't work out, what will that mean? Well, the actual truth is, that when things don't work out, you deal with them, right? When you imagine anxiety creating scenarios in your brain, what you're really doing is you're creating catastrophic scenarios that never really happen. And in your catastrophic scenarios, you've got no strengths or resources. You know, there's nothing you can say, there's nothing you can do. You're kind of a helpless victim of whatever circumstance you're creating. In reality, you solve problems all day long, every day, right? You've got strengths, you've got resources, you've got knowledge, you've got skills, you've got experience and expertise. You know, you can do stuff. And when you think about, when you sort of jump into anxiety, jump into the pot of anxiety, what you're actually doing is saying, I don't have any strengths and resources. If this happened, it would be absolutely terrible, and I wouldn't be able to cope. So we've got to actively, and I have to say this is one of kind of the things I preach all the time, we have to take an active stance against anxiety. That's what I call my approach, active self-help, right? You've got to do something. If you don't do something, nothing changes. So you've got to take action. And the action is this, right? In this moment, there's nothing I need to be anxious about. In this moment, I'm fine. Take a moment and just think about this. In this moment, is there anything that you need to do? In this moment, is there anything wrong with you? In this moment, is there anything that requires your immediate action? In this moment, can't you just exist and be where you are? In this moment, I'm sitting on this lake and there's nothing I need to do. In this moment, I'm sitting on this lake and there's nothing I need to do. Although the waves from that boat are coming by and give me a bit of a rock. In this moment, I'm perfectly fine as I am. In this moment, I'm an ordinary human being having an ordinary experience. In this moment, something I need to be anxious about. In this moment, make that your catchphrase for the day, right? In this moment, I'm fine. In this moment, I don't need to worry. In this moment, everybody's going to do what they need to do and it's all going to work out okay. Here come the waves. Let me see if I can turn around a little bit. There we are. See if I can take the waves on the bow. In this moment, I'm making a video on my phone out in a canoe and I'm getting waves from a boat that's passing. I definitely don't want my phone to go in the water, nor the device I'm using my phone to hold my phone with. So in this moment, I'm actually okay. Oh, the waves have passed, okay. But it wasn't anxiety provoking, it was just a little bit of a tremble. Okay. In this moment, make that the motto for the day. And check yourself out, right? I like to say, because the anxiety process is so powerful and it's something which you know, is pervasive, right? We're always doing it. In this moment, I would suggest you do that 20 times a day, 30 times a day, 40 times a day. Make it the thing that you do every 20 breaths. In this moment, do I need to be anxious? No. Therefore, in this moment, there's nothing I need to do. In this moment, I'm perfectly fine as I am. In this moment, I am safe. Try it, see what happens, see how you get on, report back. Thanks for taking the time to have a morning with me in a canoe on a lake in Canada. It's flat, calm, well now it is again, flat, calm, and completely peaceful.